If you are an Airbnb host, did you know that Airbnb wanted to know whether you had weapons at your property, whether you had an ungated pool, whether you were exposing your guests to dangerous animals, or whether you had a camera or any kind of noise monitoring devices? This is what we're going to be talking about today, all the information in Airbnb's Safety and Property Info page. If you do not fill in this information, you may expose yourself to bad reviews, complaints from guests, and you may even have to return money to the guests who leave early. My name is Thibaut. I'm the founder of Rental Scale Up, and today I will help you understand why you need to fill in this information and where you can find it. So today we're going over this page on Airbnb in the hosting dashboard. It's called the Safety and Property Info page. You will find it under Listings, Details, Safety. Listings, Details, Safety. This is where this page is. You may have noticed on the Airbnb dashboard, on the website or in the app, a lot of reminders for you to fill in this information. It may not seem like much, but actually, this page is crucial for you to avoid bad reviews. You really need to fill in this information so that you can craft the right expectations. And sometimes you may want to avoid attracting some types of guests. For example, I have a property by the sea, atop a cliff with a wonderful view of the sea, right? But I do not want people with small kids to come around because I'm afraid something bad could happen to them, right? We don't have like a whole barrier around the whole cliff. It's a natural site. I can't do that. So I already forbid people from bringing little kids, but I would love to convey this idea that it could be dangerous. But yet, if you look at Airbnb's list here, it's sort of a laundry list. Let's go over it. First, you'll see that they talk about safety consideration, and for example, right, that there's you need to mention whether you have a pool or hot tub without a gate. It could be dangerous, or if you are, for example, close to a body of water, which is important, or there's like heights without rails of protection, what I talked about, like a roof, a terrace, a balcony. This is really important again, because if you mention that, people have a better idea of whether there's some kind of risks or what they should know about this. You do not want people to arrive at your property, say, hey, I didn't know about this. I was not aware when it was not child-friendly. I was not aware that it could be dangerous. I don't feel good about it. And have them write to Airbnb, call them, complain, and have them leave the property, and you have to pay back the money to them. You don't want that. You want to craft the right expectations so that everybody's happy in the end. A funny one here is that there's a potentially dangerous animal, right? Like you have like wild animals around, like horse, okay, mountain lion, or a dog that growls or bites. That's interesting things to mention. I mean, there's clearly horses around. I mean, also it's common sense, right? There are horses in a field next to one of my houses, but they're not dangerous. I mean, it's just like horses in a field. That's not dangerous. Also, it's common sense. Then, very interestingly, there's safety devices. There's been a lot of scandals around, hidden cameras in showers, or around people spying on the guests. Airbnb, you have to trade some fine lines. Airbnb is not against you, for example, having a camera outside of a building recording what's going on. They're not against you having a noise monitoring device. I mean, they even promote noise monitoring devices, right? Devices that record not conversations, but levels the sound level. Yet, they want you to tell the guests, because guests should not be surprised of that. So, I know you may think that, what's the use of telling guests about this? Then they won't be, it won't work as well. I'm more of the school to say, well, if a guest knows that I have a noise monitoring device there, they may think twice before booking it and holding a party. So I'm not against disclosing this at all, actually. So here, again, you would see, you would have to explain to this. Funny enough, there's also here the smoke alarm. I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's a safety device, but it's like it's not a big disclosure to me to say, hey, I have a smoke alarm, be careful. So it's a bit weird, but it's here. And then you have property info, again, which could be interesting, like pets live on property. Could be some that you must climb stairs, that maybe there's like, could be noise around, like traffic, constructions, nearby businesses. Again, here, it's about, telling people there might be downsides. And you might think, oh, why should I tell that to people? They will not book. Well, I much prefer people knowing what's going to happen and having good surprise that it's not, they won't be noised like that day, than having them complain and say it was undisclosed, have a bad review, right? And there's also some things weird, like, weapons on property, which is on the last of the list, that you should be aware that you have at least one weapon stored in the property, and that Airbnb requires all weapons to be properly stored and secured. So for some cultures like mine, it would be a bit weird to know that there's a weapon in the house, but it's completely okay in other cultures. And my uncle's a hunter, so of course we have shooting guns in the house, but yes, they're properly stored and there's no way guests have access to them. And there's something called amenities location, which is like basically the Wi-Fi or running water or an indoor shower, which are basics, may not be there. Okay, it's interesting. So you have to fill in this information. Again, to me, the goal is to you don't want people to have the wrong expectations about your place, be disappointed, and get money back because they can point out to Airbnb that you didn't disclose this information. It's very easy. So craft the right expectations. Again, here it's a sort of a laundry list, right, between like dangerous animals, weapons, and smoke alarms. But really, you should do the job, because I'm pretty sure that properties that have this information are rewarded by Airbnb, and Airbnb even tells you, right, what happens with this information, right? This information is featured alongside house rules and any additional rules and on your listing. So it does show up, and there's probably a big chance that the more complete your information is on Airbnb, the higher you can rank. So this is going to have even an influence not only on guest expectations, but even on ranking. Who knows? That's it. For more information on Airbnb hosting, tips, market trends, go to rentalscaleup.com.